So for my particular Formbot Meanwell, it came with the Meanwell because I'm in Korea, so they ship you Meanwell. Depending on which power supply you got, obviously make sure to set it to the right voltage for your country. If you're in the America, make sure it's on 110. I'm in Korea, so it's 230. I had to find a particular mount for this particular dude, and it actually mounts laterally. That should work fine. So basically this mount goes here, and this mount goes here, and then it just attaches. So let me do this. Let me go ahead and attach these two guys on first. And this is just gonna snap on. It's got like a spring mechanism. Oh, is it the other way? Oh, sorry, it's the other way. So you're gonna, yep, you might have to snap it off real quick. I just got this off the printer. There we go. Just snap it off. Okay, now it's springy. And you can basically go like that. So you snap it on, the spring mechanism allow you to snap it on there. It stays on there. And then you can push it down to pull it out again. So I'm gonna have it go like this. So when I attach it, it's just gonna, I can use that spring mechanism. Some of this part of the Voron building is obviously gonna be a little bit DIY. I got this M2x10 screws that's gonna work perfect for attaching this here. I might use a drill real quick because these holes are just way too small. I'm gonna go ahead and make some bigger holes because those tiny screws they don't seem too reliable anyway. Just make some bigger holes. So these small screws actually worked out fine. I just had to drill the holes. It does also come with these two pieces that go on the side, so I'm gonna have additional, hopefully they'll fit. Let me just go ahead and screw these in. Most likely, some looks like an M4 screws. So it's a good idea to have some extra spares because you might have to DIY, even though this is a kit. Like I said, depending on which kit you're using, you might have to DIY a little bit. And I had to find a mount for it. Of course, you can also design your own, but obviously it's going to take longer. Now that fits in perfectly. I'm going to have to mount this sideways, vertically. The Voron manual wants you to do this, but we're going to do this. Just clip it on there. There we go. Now it's gonna hang off. This particular thing comes with this thing that will allow you to. Now the only thing is if you mount it this way, it's gonna really block the fan. So I'm gonna have to put the fan. Make sure put the fan on the other side of the power supply. This mount does work. You just need to attach. Yeah, there we go. Just gotta attach this little dude. Slide it. Yeah, it should be perfect. All right, the power supply is on. I've left just a tiny space on the right. Again, my other Voron I mounted this way, but it was a different power supply. This is the only mount I could find on Thingiverse. But it's got DIN rails on top and it's got one mount over here. And that's solid on there. That's not coming off. Now my component is gonna obviously change here. Sorry, go ahead and attach the SSR. This, you'll need the M4s. Grab some M4x6. Now you'll notice I have these little supports for the bottom panel. With the Formbot, it can eventually, if you're printing a lot of ABS at hot temperatures, eventually you're gonna warp the bottom panel, but you can prevent that by putting these on there. So you're gonna need the SSR, so attach it. Okay, yeah, that's long enough. M4, yeah. Where should we put the SSR? Somewhere near this guy, so we don't have to worry about too much. We'll just put it right here. Yeah, there we go. Got the SSR. We have the 24 volt. Actually, look, maybe put it over here. We can always change it later. I'm gonna put the octopus near where I'm gonna put the fan, over here, to the side. I don't think the power supply needs to be cooled, pretty much. It's just 24 volt. Hi guys, so for this particular Meanwell, all the Meanwells, you can actually grab this off thingies first. So I have to print this out. Let me just test it out. Okay, mounts on there real good. It's actually really nice and tight. I'll print out in ABS using my Voron there. And I'm just gonna attach this right next to this power supply. So let me just grab two M3x8s. So there's my 5 volts power supply that I'm just gonna attach next to the 24 power supply. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and insert the drivers for all of them, except for the last one. And then go ahead and attach the heat sinks. Take the teeth off carefully. Okay, you should be done with the drivers. You can take this jumper off because we don't need it. That's only if you're gonna power on the power off when you're flashing the firmware, when you're powering off the Pi 4. Now it will not power off the USB. Yes, let's go grab our printer and attach it. Next up, I've got the Octopus Pro mounts. One on the side, and then there's DIN rail mounts. I'm gonna have to attach these first. I didn't really do it in the standard Voron method because I had to I had a bunch of parts that I had to print. So I started there and sort of. But this should be fine. I'm just gonna put it here. Plenty of space for everything. I can slide it over if I want a little bit. Oops. I think that's too much over. Ew. That should be kind of far. Okay, let's just take it out. Reposition. Yeah, just give it enough room. Okay, snapped in there, nicely in there. We're gonna put the final Raspberry Pi over here, like that, so we can connect the USB cable real easy. Having it face out, no, it won't matter. Of it facing downwards or upwards, doesn't really matter. Just connect the USB cable and attach it to this top DIN rail. Let me put it on the side over here. And boom shakalaka. All my electronics ready to go. Everything's on there. I might need to change the spacing a little bit here. It actually saves a lot of space because it's mounted vertically. So I'm actually liking this new setup versus my old one. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of space between everything, so I don't have to have it so damn tight. There we go. I did print out some extra wire holder thingies. So I'll just probably have them going across. I'll just probably tape these on with the VHF tape, so I don't have wires going everywhere. Okay, let me actually connect some of these cables and see where the wire would go best. I definitely need one here, so I'll put one here. And the good thing with these, they have a Voron shade cover. Now, if you don't have a 3D printer to print these right now, you can go ahead and wire them up without, and then clean them later on. You can print it after you print the printer. Print the printer? Build the printer. So they'll go on like that and really hide the cables real. This VHB tape sticks on really well. Even at high temps, it's not going to come off. You don't need to use all of it, but I'm going to just use a lot of it. Okay, wire cover. The back of the printer. Back of the printer. Like I said, you can print this out after and reorganize your cables if you don't have an organizer. Or you can also go buy some of these cable organizers online. So I'm gonna just put it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the thermistors, maybe. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the cables. I'm gonna undo all the cable ties I did, because now I can just don't need them. The first thing I'm gonna find is the heat bed thermistor, which is gonna be the first thermistor that goes on here. This is your thermistor table here. The heater bed will always go first, so let's go ahead and first start with that. And that's the most center, and that way you could organize your wires the best if you start from the center and go to the edges, I think. So your thermistor cable is gonna come from this hole from the heat bed. And it's gonna be a white one, most likely. Make sure it's not tangled, the wires are not going through it. Okay, it's completely free. I'm gonna go ahead and connect it to this. This is the first thermistor here. Okay. Okay, that's the thermistor cable. And I'm gonna go ahead and route these guys maybe like this. Okay, these extra wires. I'm just gonna get it through here, and put the extra wires through. For now, I'm just gonna have it go through one of these zip ties. This is gonna go straight in there. Dirt. Okay, let me find the next thermistor. I do also have this thermistor, which is gonna go on the third one. This is gonna be for my enclosure. You guys probably not using one if it's your first build, but I'm gonna have an extra thermistor. So put it on the third thermistor guy here. And that's gonna go right through the second. Let me get it through the same guy. So thermistor wire there. And find the other thermistor, which is my Hotend. It's a white wire for my Formbot kit. Hi guys, so I've actually attached another wire cover. And the longer wires, you probably want to cut and crimp them if you want to be super OCD. But I'm just gonna put them here and put this over with the extra wires. I'm not gonna get too OCD about it. So I've got the heater bed thermistor, the Hotend thermistor, and I have an extra enclosure thermistor. You don't need it, but I just have it. Next one you'll probably want to do is this row here. These are all your fans. All right, you can change the fan numbers later, so I'm not going to worry too much about which fan it is, but I'm going to definitely go ahead and find all my fans. Here's my fan 1. Here's my Nevermore filter that I'm going to put after the other ones. And here's fan 0. So let me start with fan 0. Like I said, I'm just going to route them up. Fan 0 going to start here, and then fan 1, fan 2, fan 3, fan 4, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this guy here, fan 0. And I'm going to go ahead and route it through my wiring guide. The rest of the wires, I'm going to just go ahead and hide them in here. And just sort of loop them around the ends. So in the end, the only thing you're going to see are the wires coming out. And I can have a zip tie here holding it. I'm going to just leave the zip tie And next I'm gonna take the fan 1, connect it there, route it in the same path as this other dude. Down here. Oh, skirt fans, I'm gonna have to add a little bit later. I'm gonna have to print out the skirts. Maybe I should install it. I want to get some of these main wires away first, and then we will add them later. Should be fine. The Nevermore filter, I'm gonna actually leave. We can change the pins later, so I'm just gonna put it on fan 2, 1, 2, and 3. Fan 2 and 3. Nevermore filter wire, second wire. Go ahead and fit them in here. And I'm going to use a zip tie here to tie them down a little bit so they don't move around. Make sure it's not too tight, it's snug. I'm just going to go ahead and tie these 4 fans for now. Whoops. Yeah, these wiring management covers are great. Just a mess of wires down here, but it's okay. I got clean wires down up here. Okay, done with the fans for now, except for the skirt fans, which I'll need. Okay, the probe wire. This kit comes with the probe signal with the diode. That's gonna go right here. The last horizontal one, and the other one is gonna go right next to it. Now in my other kit, I just had a direct connection to the probe and it worked fine. Not sure why they decided to change it. Now because of the diode, I don't want it to like break on me, so I'm gonna maybe get it going sideways. Yeah, maybe over here, so there's enough room for the diode. Let me just get it way over here so it doesn't get in the way of anything. Oh, another zip tie over here, down here to hold these. Okay, the diode is in. Okay, the next very important one is the XY Endstop. I got the Y here. XY is going to be this second row, XYZ. I'm going to put X over here. Oh, sorry, Y. The one cable if you're using Formbot kit with PCB Endstop. And the other one is going to be the X. Connect to the first one. Okay, it's clipped in there. And these are also gonna, I should have went under these other cables, but I gotta do it again. Okay, these I'm gonna route straight down to the cable management here system, and route it to the second rail over here. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and use a cable here, cable tie, and just hold them in place, sort of. Okay, I got the essentials in there, I think. I've just got a bunch of motor stuff and heater stuff, which is good. The less stuff I have, the better. Next, I'm going to go ahead and connect the Hotend. The Hotend cables for this Formbot kit is called the heater tube. Okay, make sure it's the red wires coming out from the bottom hole, not the bed heater hole. And you can either connect it... Actually, you can only connect it here. So that's your Hotend. You will need to unscrew these. Plus minus does not matter on this. No, because it just shorts itself and heats. You know, that's how the Hotend works. It shorts itself? Yes, that's how they heat up. It shorts itself. Okay, screw in the first HE0. Okay, nice and tight. That's not falling out. And I'm gonna just route these through the wire management system. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start using these other guys. Let me insert a cable tie that later I'll go ahead and cable tie all the what that was. Hi guys, so far now I've got some motor wires to cover. The extruder motor should go right here. This is the extruder. Slightly different color, so I know it's the extruder. So it's gonna be the second from the last one from the right. these are gonna be all your motor stuffs. I'm just gonna route these. I'm just gonna tie down these motor mounts. This first one's gonna be B and then A. So I got mine labeled B here. So I'm gonna put B. And also A. That's your XY axis. And I might tie these down real quick. I don't want them having flopping around. Their eyes. It's gonna be seesaw, isn't it? Isn't it? So I want these going in through here and in these grooves. And I want the wires are kind of long, so I want them to route the extra wires through this guy here and hide them. Or you can crimp. Probably better to crimp. It's not going to affect performance by having a slightly long one there. Again, not the neatest OCD wiring here. We're gonna go ahead and connect also these two and the two at the top, and that's gonna be pretty much it. Okay, next we're gonna connect the Z motors. So this is the front of printer at the top. This is the back at the bottom. It's always gonna start with Z0, Z1, Z2, Z3. Alright, the front of the printer is gonna be Z0 and Z3. So Z0, Z1, Z2, Z3. So I've got motor wires here. So I'm just gonna connect them right now. We'll worry about placement later. Z0 is gonna go into the third one, okay? With the AB motors or the XY. A Z0. And then Z1 down here, it's gonna skip one and then go to the next one, okay? I'll just connect this side first. Worry about that wiring later. And then Z2 is gonna be over here, which is back right of your printer. And I'm gonna not have to worry about these guys going. It's gonna go to Z2. Right here. And then Z4, last one, front right, is gonna go to this one here. I'm gonna put it over here. And we're done with all of the motors. And I gotta tidy this up a little bit. So this particular dude might be hanging, so I might just use one of these cable holders. It's been sitting, just a single thing. I'll just have it hanging off here somewhere. Yeah, just give it enough room. There we go. And clean up this wiring a little bit. So I need one of these bed wires going here to the AC. It's a little short. So I might actually move this position. I could put it upside down like this. Or I can go ahead and put this 5-volt supply. I'm gonna just put it over here. It's not hugely important. And my Raspberry Pi will sit right here. And then the SSR will sit sort of a custom location for everything. So it just happened that I didn't have the mount to make it look like I wanted to make it look like exactly like the Voron manual, but in my case I couldn't because of the mount that was available. So one of the wires from the bed heater can go either one. So when 24 volt comes in, it says on. It's gonna connect here to here, and this should connect to live. And then the other one should go to neutral. So the bed basically heats up by shorting it, somewhat shorting. It's looking tidy-whitey, and I'm just gonna go ahead and slide this thing in here, and this will allow you to just hide those extra wires and cheat and become OCD without actually being OCD. Okay, that looks okay. Is that messy? I don't know. I'm not too OCD as long as the printer runs. I'm not too crazy about it. What is this? This is a Wago mount. What is a Wago? Wago is a very simply, very easy to use for AC main stuff, especially high voltage stuff. You can go ahead and clip these in. Just open up the clips. Insert your damn wire. Oh, the other side. Alright, close it. And whatever you connect, they're connected. Alright? And best of all, you can easily undo it. Now there's several different types. This is a 221. It just connects 2 wires. You can connect 5 wires, which is neat because you got all these supplies, so sharing ground and sharing negative. There is a printable mount for these. So I think this is actually the first time using it. So this is the biggest change. Ooh, that fits in really nice. The biggest change with the 2.4R2 Voron from the 2.4, the regular 2.4, is the design of these Wago mounts, which is great. And it actually came with my Formbot kit, which is really good. So you're gonna go ahead and insert the 220s here. These other ones, I think you use it for something else, so just have them around. And this way you can really tidy up all your wires easily. And these are supposed to mount somewhere on the bottom of the printer, I think. So there, you can use plus AC plus minus ground. Just open them up, insert, and boom. And you're gonna put it on one of the sides here, but I need room for some power supply. Because I have a custom sort of setup here, I might put it somewhere else where it makes more sense to me. Hi guys, let's get the LCD on there. I have pre-printed parts, but the parts should be similar. You need to put the 4 heat inserts there, and the LCD. Go take the handle off, button off, go in like that, and you'll need this piece holding it, like that. And you got this last piece that holds it in place, like this. And you need a 4 M3x12s. I don't have skirts printed yet, but I want to install the LCD because I put the I have a custom location for the back for all my electric components. And I don't know if the LCD thing's gonna be long enough. So LCD looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and put the button back. There's a reset button. Ready to go. Okay, for this last part, you're gonna need to get an M3x40. So it should fit in there like that. And you should have put a thermal insert for that part. So I'm using a pre-printed part. M3x40 in there. I think it's be able to, like that, I guess. And I'm gonna put it in the middle for right now. I don't have, like I said, I don't have skirts, but I will get some skirts printed after I build the printer. It's gonna go in right here, like that, like that. I got 2 M3x12s. I think that's it. Going by intuition, yeah, that looks about right. You can go ahead and use 2 hammer nuts or 2 T-nuts, whatever you prefer. I'm gonna use 2 T-nuts. Okay, the LC's on there. Later I'll put the skirts. But for right now, I just need to be able to reach this here. I think it's gonna actually reach just fine. So EXP1 should be this one. So this one. So I'm gonna just try to connect it. See, will it reach? Should reach. Yes, barely reaches. Yeah, my positioning of Octopus is supposed to be on the top, I think, for the Voron manual, but I had it in a different location. This is a completely custom layout. I didn't think about the LCD before doing it, but it seemed like it worked out pretty good. Yeah, they should be fine like that. Let me just zip tie it. LCD is not necessary. I don't even have an LCD installed on my other Voron. I just didn't bother. But it's very handy to have, especially when changing filaments or heating up the machine. I mean, I can just do it all from my phone. So far it looks pretty nice. I think I have a few more things to do. So this is what I got so far. Oh yeah, I need to attach this down here. It's sort of a custom layout, but it's gonna work. The cable hiders, I call it now. They're great in hiding some extra wires. So I'm pretty happy with the results so far. Yay. So I'm just gonna put this down here, and I'm gonna put the power on this side. You're supposed to put it on this side, but I have to put all my power over here. It's gonna be more simpler with all the power outs here. So you need a 2.5 M10 and 2 M510s, and then go ahead and insert 2 M5 T-nuts if you have any, or you can use the whoops. Peanuts. So I've got the power connectors. I'm just gonna go in the same fashion as this over here, which is ground, neutral, live, or you can label them. But this is obviously ground. Your ground wire is gonna go here. So go ahead and open up one of these Wagos. Wago 221. I'm just gonna put it at the end over here. Close it, and that's it. That makes it very simple. One of the bed heater wires are gonna go into neutral. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it into this second one here. So this is gonna be neutral, there. And one of the outputs will go into the SSR. This should pop out. The other bed wire is going to go into the SSR. It doesn't matter where you put it in 1 or 2, because the SSR's purpose is simply going to just connect them. And this other wire, you'll want to go to A. So let's work on that. Let's tidy these wires up a little bit. My kit came with a bunch of AC wiring kit stuff. I might move everybody over just a tad, slide them over to make slightly more room. I'm just gonna temporarily take this out. So it's gonna be, just make a note of what everything is. LN ground, V minus V plus. I'm gonna get the SSR. It says L to Wago 415. So this is gonna go here. Am I gonna have enough space? Ouch! It's not gonna reach. I'm gonna flip it because it'll actually work better that way. I'm just gonna simply flip it because it's too short. Okay, this way I'll have enough room to go to there. Let me go ahead and put this guy on there. I'm gonna put an L wire. And that's gonna go to the last Wago here. I'll have it going under everybody else here. And I'll worry about wiring a little bit later. You're gonna need to connect these two to the outputs. So these wires are too small. Because my configuration, I gotta go all the way here. They're too schmers. So I'll have to lengthen them. So we'll do that in a bit. Also, the power supply to motherboard is very, very long. Yeah, I should have put this on this side and then put this over here. Yeah, I didn't really think that out. Now I'm paying for it, but it's okay. I still make it work. So I'm gonna need lengthened cables for the SSR to here. And also I'm gonna need some lengthened cables, power cables for the actual power to it, but it's not a huge deal. I'm gonna go ahead and use this supplied power, which is easy. This is gonna be live. So I'll go ahead and connect it to the Wago. Nice, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it through this wire holder. Okay, I think it's gonna reach perfectly for this guy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and connect the wires for the 5 volts supply. So let me just connect neutral and also I'm gonna connect the ground over here. I'm skipping, going back and forth here. All right, let me just focus on one of these. Neutral. Go through the cable holder here. And let me connect the neutral, blue. Blue is gonna be in the middle actually. So this is connected to here. Ready, and then let me go ahead and connect the rest of it for here. So I'm gonna need neutral. It's gonna reach. I think it's gonna barely reach. And then ground. And I'm gonna go ahead and connect the 5 volts already. That way I don't have to bother it later. So there is a Raspberry Pi 5 volt connection. So I'm gonna connect it up, and then later I can just plug it in. Well, I guess so minus and plus, because it's hard to see. Again, if you're not using a kit that did not come with crimp cables, you'll have to crimp a lot of this, most of it. Make sure it's on negative and positive. All right, that's all ready to go, so I can go ahead and close up this cap, and I won't have to bother with it. I just gotta go ahead and connect the connections. You know what? I might even actually move the Raspberry Pi over here. I'm not too worried about the Raspberry Pi heating up. I've never had issues like that. The Raspberry Pi can actually run without a fan just fine, but there should be case fans. There's plenty of room to get there, so I'm gonna actually put this guy over here and put this guy, the 5 volt supply, over here. Okay, that's nice in there. That way I can reach. I believe it's one of these over here. Let me start with the longest one. The brown wire is gonna be live, so go under all these other guys behind it. And then go ahead and connect it. Oh God! It's not able to reach. Okay, we're gonna mount it down here then. I'm gonna push everything over. Everything closer. And I think I still have room. Yeah, I still have room. Oops. No, this wire thing is in the way. I have to move it. This might actually work out. I might just hide everything behind. You can't see. So I decided to put it here because I don't want to make new wires. But this should be fine. I can still reach the Raspberry Pi. I think next time I'm gonna think this through, but I really didn't think this through this time. And this was a new mount I was working with. Let me connect the live from the 5-volt power supply to this extra one here. And then the next neutral, and then ground right here. It might be a good idea to cut some of these wires if you want to get super OCD, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, the Raspberry Pi Plus, for most Raspberry Pi, it's gonna be plus and then minus, so you can just put the one on the top and then skip one, and put one minus. Okay. That's in there. And maybe I'll route these actually under here. I'm gonna route this under here. Damn, I was doing good, but my wiring is getting messy. Good to go. I'm just gonna sort of hide the wires there. Use some Kapton tape and just tape it. So the 5-volt Raspberry Pi connected. I just need to connect the SSR to this second output over here. And then I just need to connect power V minus V plus to the op. So I felt like this was a little messy. I'm gonna add another wire cover. I'll just place it over here and get rid of this thing that I don't need. It's become a complete DIY at the moment. I apologize, I tried to follow the original guide, but unfortunately my mount, power supply mount, I couldn't only find one. I mean, I could design my own, but I just don't want to spend time designing that because it's not my product. I need 3D printer so I can print out my products, not design 3D stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this guy right over like that. So since I have a custom layout here, the power switch usually goes this way. I simply mirror this in Slicer and print it on the opposite side. Right? Just go on the outside like that. And this will go on like that. And that'll be nice. And I've got a power switch here that's gonna go on just like that. And also power inlet. And screw this in. You're gonna need threaded inserts 1, 2, 3, 4, and one at the top here. Now, for all of the parts under here, you can print them in PETG if you want. You don't need to use ABS because there's no high temperature underneath the printer. So you should be fine. I'm printing actually some with my Ender 6 because my Ender 6 is my dinosaur that I just leaving it to do miscellaneous work, such as skirt printing. I printed this particular part in ABS, but I can totally just use PETG. PETG would work fine for skirts and stuff. If your temperature under your printer got super hot to melt at PETG, then your printer would probably not work that well. Once that's in there, I can go ahead and insert that. Like I said, I'm doing a mirror. You're supposed to put it on here, owing to wrong documentation. But I'm doing the opposite because of my custom configuration. And I think you can go ahead and use an M3x8 over here. Is that too large? Yeah, it's fine. It should be fine. So, oops. I got the button Is that right way? No, that's right. On and off from here. On and off. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, you gotta get it. Let's go ahead and attach this. Should go right over like that. You're gonna slide it over as much as possible, right? Without actually going too far over. Just take care of that. And I need to flip my printer real quick. Flip it on this block. Get a perfect fit over here. You know what? I can work on the rest actually up like this also. Okay, so the power inlets go like that. Alright, like that. For me. But if you're following the regular guide, it's going to be on the opposite side. You're going to need 2 T-nuts or hammer nuts, whichever you prefer. Should be fine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and slide it over flush the end over there. Okay, that's nicely on there. Let me flip my printer back. Oh, I guess you're supposed to ground your SSR. You can connect it to here. I'm just gonna undo this bottom part. Let's ground the SSR also, which will ground the DIN rail. Alright, it's gonna, because everything's connected. Well, yeah, the DIN rail. We'll go ahead and mount this along with this other dude. Not sure if you need to ground the frame, but they do come with a little mount for it, so I might as well ground it. Frame. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ground it. Okay, if you have 3-prong here from the power, this is gonna be neutral. So go ahead and connect this particular guy. Let's do the neutral first. Will it reach? I'll have to reposition one of these guys to over here. So, sorry, not neutral. Round is connected to the power inlet, so it's grounded. Hi guys, so this is the power switch down here. This is gonna your power cord. The top knob here is gonna be neutral, right? And if you're looking this way, it will show you it's neutral. And to the left of it, if you're looking at like this, left of it, this is gonna be live. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect brown wire. This is live. And I'm gonna go ahead and connect it here. And I'm gonna go ahead and connect it to one of them here. Either side will work. I'll put it on the other side so it's easier access. Letter cable's in the way, sort of. Is it? Okay, in there. And then the blue wire, I'm gonna go ahead and connect it to the second guy down here. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and connect it to here. This is gonna be your neutral. 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 Blue is neutral. And you're gonna finally go ahead and connect the live from here, the other side of the brown. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and connect it to one of these open ports. Over here, the Wago will connect all your live wires. And the neutral, I'm gonna go ahead and connect it to the Wago neutral. Ooh, I think I'm might actually be a little bit short here, so I'm gonna go ahead and move these guys one over. These Wago connectors are great. You can easily move your wires and they'll hold it and keep it very safe from high voltage. Also, another reason, I forgot to point out why we flash the firmware on the clipper. The default will turn on your heat bed and also your Hotend, which can be bad. You can have a thermal runaway if you did not connect all your thermometers correctly. So that's another reason you should flash it first. So that's all connected. Well, now I've got power going to the Wago. All the ground wires connected. I just don't have it actually power connected to Octopus Pro. And let's double check my work. I've got one of the heat bed wires going to the SSR, the other one going to live, all right? And then the other heat bed wire is going into neutral, all right? And everything is grounded. Now at this point, I don't have the Octopus Pro. I can go ahead and power on and just make sure my power supply is working, wired correctly. So you can just power it on, but I will just actually go ahead and finish this printer here. I'm almost done. So, important thing, double check which direction your switch goes. Mine goes down to up, so it doesn't matter. For some, I thought this would work with every other switch where the direction of the connection would go this way. It's actually this way. Make sure you have a V minus from this power supply to this power supply. Let's take this out real quick. And just gonna connect V minus. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and feed it to V minus over here. V minus. It says on the thing, V minus to V minus. Yes, you need this so they have the same ground reference. And these connectors are great. I can just go ahead and insert it in there. I just need to crimp some wires going to the I just need to crimp some wires going from the power here. I'm gonna feed it down to V plus and V minus. So I'm just gonna connect it to the plus here, and I have these short wires. You don't have to connect both of them. I'm just gonna jump from the red here, just like that, to motor, power, and power. That way, you don't have to have two wires. They should be plenty power. Motor power. And that will go to the plus. Motor power. Now, Rat Rig actually advises, the Rat Rig kid advises you to have separate power lines, and the Voron team doesn't. So it doesn't really matter that much. I'm just gonna get just enough wire to get through here, and just maybe a tiny bit extra. And this is going to be 24 volts coming out of this power supply. And I can go ahead and slide this cover out for now and feed this wire through. I was at the casino tables the other day, and I kept getting good cards, and I was like, boom shakalaka. And these Japanese customers, they're saying the same thing. They're like, yeah, after when they're like, boom shakalaka. Okay, connected V minus there. By the way, on the Octopus V1.1, you can also use the bed out, but Voron uses these two. You can use either or, but you'll have to change the pin numbers. So V minus, V plus connected. Make sure negative, negative, plus, plus. I've got this here. Make it just long enough to reach. Crimp that sucker real quick. Oh, with the electronics, just take your time. Double check, triple check. Because if you mess up plus minus, you might have some broken parts. Maybe you can start fire. But if you double check everything before you power it on, you should be all good to go. That's a nice crimp. Crimp, crimp, crimp. V minus. There's 3 slots to put V minus here, which is nice, or V plus. I need to connect the SSR to here, so I don't need these thick wires for 24 volts. This is just for AC, so let me go get some smaller wires. I had these wires off Amazon. They're 22 AWG, 22 gauge. Should be plenty for 24 volts. Now 24 volts, we're dealing with very low voltage. It's not actually using to power up the the bed, obviously. It's only just really just signaling this guy. So there's not too much current going through these 2 particular wires. Let me go ahead and just... The only crimping I'm doing today are on this kid. Not too much, huh? Not too much. I don't like crimping. So heater 1 here, I'm just gonna go ahead and connect it. Plus and minus. Ah. So I think I'm pretty much done with the electronics here. My printer is actually ready to go. Pretty amazing. Okay, we're just gonna... Oh! Actually, press it. Oh, like, is the printer turn on by itself? Scary. So heater plus. Again, I'll go over all of the wiring in more detail after I'm done here, because I need to double check my work anyway. Okay, plus minus. Okay, that's nicely in there. That's not coming out. I'm gonna go ahead and thread to the wire management. Actually, let's close up this guy here. Make it look neater. This thing is nice. It just slides through. Easy access. Got that Voron logo. Yeah, keeps everything a little neater. Even then, my work is not OCD enough. Damn it. That sucks. Ew, right there. Okay. Should you put those tap thingies? No. I'm getting tired of working on this printer. I'm just gonna put these on nude wire. You can use connectors if you want here. Make sure plus minus is correct. So minus down here. Maybe I'll make it kind of extra long. So I can just kind of make sure it's in there. Negative wires. Okay, that's nice in there. Make this other guy a little bit longer. I'm gonna wrap it around the thing here. Wrap it around. I don't like this wire. It's not really that. I'll put some caps on tape to hold the wires so they don't move. Just get some caps on tape here. Tape it up so it's not like flopping around. Flopping. Damn wiring. Okay, so SSR cover back on. Don't really need it. That's kind of nice. And nothing to do anymore. Absolutely done. Oh, I got the 2 fans I gotta connect, but I could do that later. For initial startup, if you run on low voltage, low amps, that looks okay. I did a lot better than my first job. My first wiring was terrible. Go look up Voron 2.4 wiring guide, 3D printer school, and you'll see my terrible. That was just amateur status. Okay, lastly but not least, even if you want to put in the skirts later, I do recommend putting the fans on, because the drivers here, you're not going to be able to run the printer at full speed if you don't have fans blowing down to it. So I'm going to make sure I have at least the fans, and then I'll print out the rest of it. The fans should be going. So let's build the fan part. You'll need a fan holder thingy part. Yes. And you'll need some inserts. You'll also need to insert 4 inserts on the fan itself. On this side, not the sticker side, alright? Make sure it's this side. Always the sticker side is gonna be where the air goes out. Alright, always this side is gonna be, sticker side is where air is gonna go out. This is where air gonna get sucked in. Just remember that. No! I made the whole thing off. No! Get off me! Oh god. Shoot. I went too quick. I pulled out too quick. Don't pull out too quick. Okay. Hopefully that's gonna stick in there. That should be fine. Pulled out too quick. Yeah, don't pull out too quick. No! Give me my solder back. Fans are trying to eat my solder. So mean. A lot of toxic fumes when you're burning all this stuff. So make sure the place is vented well. I have a vent that vents the whole office. Got too many damn 3D printers all over the place. Too many awesome 3D. You know, I divorced my wife about 6 months ago. I got married to my 3D printer finally. The best decision I've made my whole life. I was gonna actually name my channel at one point, I married my 3D printer. I mean, literally, that's what happens. You get a 3D printer and then, you know, you're spending way more time with your 3D printer than your wife. No. And you feel great about it. It's like you're cheating on your wife. Without actually cheating. And they get super jealous. If you have a wife and you got a 3D printer, you'll know exactly what I mean. Okay, you're gonna have these 3 indented sides gonna go right over the back here. And you're gonna go ahead and mount it. Mount the Voron. Have the wiring come out to the side. I think it's a good idea. These inserts are for the other side, where there's no fan, but I'm gonna use it later. Oh, actually the fan's blowing right at the drivers because the particular positioning. No! Grab a M5x10. Go and just insert this guy in here a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a T-nut on top here. Now, if you don't have the fan mounts, you can just go ahead and make sure to run your printer in low power mode. Don't increase the amps. I'll just print a little slow, but I got that in there. So, I have fan. Minimal amount of fan. I can go ahead and slide this guy off for a second. So the extra fan, you can go to the next 2 Wires are gonna be like sort of there. There, I have a fan connected too. You can always change the pinouts in the printer.cfg. So it should not be a huge deal. We have everything here to run the printer at full speed, except for enclosure. Should be pretty easy to do. Okay, here goes nothing. Crossing my. Oh, scary! Yes, yes, yes! Everything's on. Oh god. The octopus turned on. Now make sure your hot end's not getting hot. Okay, nothing's turning on. So the first thing you gotta check is your octopus. Make sure you have flashed clipper beforehand. Check that your Raspberry Pi is on, your power supply is on. If your Raspberry Pi is on, which means your 5-volt power supply is working fine. So finally got them working. I just need to now just set up the clipper port. I didn't set it up yet. Nothing's heating up, nothing's turned on, which is really good. I didn't set up configs yet, so we'll go with that next step.